Welcome to Mitchell Maths. In this video we're going to have a look at percentages and decimals. Now, in order to convert a percentage to a decimal, or percentage to or decimal to a percentage, we need to multiply or divide by 100. Because if we think of it as like, as 1 being 100%, and then anything out of anything out of 1 has been things. So 1 is the same as 100%, and 0.1 would be the same as 10%, and 0.01 would be the same as 1%. So we need to times by 100 to go from a decimal to a percentage. We need to divide by 100 to go from a percentage to a decimal. So this is we're converting decimals to percentages. For the first one, we'll do 0.97 times 100, which gives us 97%. Now, don't make the common mistake with this one, where people write it as 80% because of C8. It's 0.08 times by 100. If we move it by 2 places, it'll be 8%. And for the final one, we'll do 0.0467 times by 100 is 4.67%. So as long as you can multiply by 100 okay, you can convert decimals to percentages. So next one, we're converting percentages to decimals. So we're doing the opposite now. Instead of multiplying by 100, we're going to divide by 100. So we'll do 59 divided by 100, which is 0.59 as a decimal. The next one is 107 divided by 100, which shall give us, so this will be over 1, because if we think 1 is equal to 100%, so if something is over 100%, it's going to be over 1. So 107 divided by 100 would be 1.07. And 9.12 divided by 100 would be 0.0912 as a decimal. So that's how to convert percentages to decimals. Divide by 100. We want to order the percentages and decimals from smallest to largest. We could either convert the decimals to percentages or the percentages to decimals. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to convert the decimals to percentages, but it's much of a muchness. So if we think of 0.45 times by 100 would be 45%. And 0.445 times by 100 would be 44.5%. And now that we've got them all as percentages, we can quite easily see the order we can write them in. So first of all, I'm going to have the smallest is 44.5%, which is, I'll still need to write it as a decimal in the answer when I put them from smallest to largest. Then the next largest is 44.9%. And then I've got 45%, which is 0.45. And then I've got 45.1%, which is my largest value. So yeah, just convert the decimals to percentages or the percentages to decimals so you can more easily see which order they go in. Question 4. Find 45% of 0.8. So this is finding a fraction, a percentage of a decimal. What I can do first is I could find 10. And to find 10% of something, I need to divide by 10. So 10% of 0.8, well, 0.8 divided by 10 would be 0.08. And if I want to go from 10% to 40%, I need to multiply by 100. No, multiply by 4, sorry. Because 10 times 4 is 40. So therefore, I can times 0.08 by 4 to get 40% if 10% is 0.08, which will give me 0.32. I also need to find 5%. Well, I can find 5% by dividing 10% by 2. So if 10% is equal to 0.08, I can divide it by 2, which will get me 5%, which is 0.04. And if I know 40% is 0.32, I know 5% is 0.04. So in order to get 45%, I need to add 40% and 5%, which is 0.32 plus 0.04, and that'll give me 0.36. So that's an example if it was on a non-calculator paper, how you would do it. If it was on a calculator paper, you'd just probably divide 0.8 by 100 and times by 45. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you found that helpful. If you liked the video and like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. And for practice questions, please visit www.mitchellmathsandscience.com. The link is in the description.